So we're absolutely delighted to be welcoming the man who's behind a lot of this, the person who has the vision of creating this startup channel, because what we're going to do is start up here today, and that's going to be becoming the epicenter of this environment. Stage 2, StartupX will be the leader in the region, and level 3, stage 3 is going to be when the world, when they look inside, they will see StartupX as their platform to be on. So when you go to Google and you search for startups, guess where you will end? StartupX.dtec.ae. If there's nowhere else to go, we'll be right at the top. We are starting a brilliant new initiative at Dtec, and this initiative we call StartupX. Why StartupX? X is exponential. Dtec is about creating exponential companies. Dtec is about empowering young people and young organizations to make it into the future. So this initiative really is riding on the revolution of video and audio podcasting. We are creating absolutely our own channel and our own platform. And this channel and platform is going to be serving you. We will have all the best startups. We will have all of the organizations that are working within this community and from outside. The other side of this equation are the big companies who are looking into Dtec and into this ecosystem that has been developing here, and almost using them as a R&D function for the bigger organizations because they may not be able to do it themselves. The third area is that we are going to be talking about the difficult issues of how startups actually go and connect with each other, connect with investors, connect with financial institutions and banks. One of the key things that startups don't often get within communities across this region is business with each other. This platform will enable them to understand each other, cross-fertilize, and take it on from there. So this is a talk show, as you can see. This is Trevor Noah, eat your heart out. This is going to happen, and we're going to do this on a monthly basis, and then we'll take it on from there. So the man who's behind this is Hans Christensen. Hans, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you like this format?
I love it.
Yeah?
It's a little bit like late night show.
Yes, yes. So I can be silly, I can be frivolous, and I have to be careful. I probably have to be careful.
No, we're in an experimenting environment, so that's good.
So we're okay. Hans, it was when we shared this vision together, you spoke about the fact that you want the world, when they look into Dubai, when they look into this region, and use the word startup, they should all end up here with StartupX.dtec.ae, because that becomes a platform. Because as the video goes out there and it gets optimized, this will be right at the top. What are your thoughts in terms of becoming the leader of startups in the region?
I have to give you kudos for actually this idea. It was your idea, so thank you for giving me the credit, but it's actually your idea. So I think, first of all, you very rightly identified that there's a gap in the market where there is no go-to platform today. Make this space more efficient for corporates and for investors and for startups. My thoughts on this is that this platform will be the go-to platform if you're an investor and if you're a corporate looking out for pitches, the best pitches in town. And as you very rightly said, this is just the beginning, and this is why this is so exciting, because we see that this is just the first attempt to create something that I think there will be a snowball effect from this.
Thank you for that. One of the ideas that I have is that, when I want to look at the cool startups in town and the cool entrepreneurs who are leading those startups, there's nowhere to go. There's no one place to go. So as an international investor coming in, looking at this region for foreign direct investment, VCs, and so on, I don't have a clue where to start. And I end up with consulting firms, legal firms, auditing firms, to sort of nudge us in there. Is this one of the key things you feel which will drive investment and support young people?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I have the past 6-7 years here in Dubai seen a lot of great pitches. Unfortunately, 95% of them were made in that moment,
Yeah.
and then they land in the forget me box.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to record these pitches and to leverage off them to a worldwide audience. Of course, this will magnify the effect of each entrepreneur in this system, and you can send this around to all the potential investors there are, and they can see it at their leisure, and they can see you at your best.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the things I thought was that you basically get stuck for those 10 minutes of pitching, and then it's gone. This captures everything. So even if you're sitting in Silicon Valley or in Boston or anywhere in the world and looking at this emerging markets region, this is where they will come.
Yeah.
And being in a digital world is very, very easy to do this kind of stuff. And the whole idea of the model is to make it as light, inexpensive to produce, and inexpensive to reach people. Mm-hmm. And this is the modern way, the future of future companies, rather than the heavy television environment, which is really not financially feasible anymore.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on creating these new business models?
No, we are actually quite conservative in our with our vision in terms of that anything we do should also bring money, should be profitable. And I am 100% sure there is a lot of corporates, a lot of investors, and even entrepreneurs that will pay for this information.
Yeah.
Now, if I miss out on a fintech pitch in New York,
Yeah.
I'm upset. But if I can go to a platform and see what happened in New York, what happened in Macau, what happened in, let's say, Seoul,
Yeah.
that is fantastic.
So you're
and it will
connecting the
start
dots.
here. Yeah, it will start here.
Okay. Now, in terms of moving these companies forward, what are the 2 or 3 things that you as Dtec are finding that is giving them the most pain, which is where you need to provide the Panadol? What in your opinion, are those?
Obviously, the number one is funding. But all said, 95% of all startups actually do their own funding. But I'm sure you could increase that percentage if they can be part of this network.
Yep.
So I think that is opening a bank account and getting funding.
Opening a bank account, getting funding, and I know the report. The third one is actually office space. Yeah. And so you provide office space really well. You provide a lot of opportunities for investors to come in and talk to you to the young startups. So it's only crossing that barrier and then just facilitating and working closely with the banks, perhaps to start getting Dtec companies to fast track it. Maybe that's a good way of doing it.
Well, I think there is actually a technological solution to the bank account situation. There's companies out there that's doing quite well called Securency,
Yes.
which are solving the KYC problem. Doc's Wallet, which actually went through our Smart City Accelerator, and a host of other startups and multinationals that are working with the government right now in providing a solution like it. I think my vision of this place would be that you should be able to travel to Dubai,
Yep.
and within 1 hour, open a bank account, get your visa, get your lease, and anything else that you need in order to start your business at an affordable price.
How far away are we from that?
Next question, please. No, as a matter of fact, I don't think we are that far away. I
Right.
think within the next 24 months, we will see the first POCs. I mean, we're already fiddling around with some POCs, but we are talking about having a minimal viable ecosystem solution, It entails getting a lot of the right stakeholders on board, but I'm adamant that that will happen sooner or later.
In our ecosystem here, we have a lot of large companies. We see SAP, we see Schneider, we see Fujitsu, we see others. How do you think they are using this ecosystem, and are they using it well?
What I've found, to be absolutely transparent, is that most multinationals, and you were mentioning these big names, engage only in one or two things, where you actually have a plethora of opportunities. So there's so many other ways you can engage. You could be part of an accelerator. You could be part of a hackathon. You could help, bring out your knowledge to the community in a learning environment and things like that. But we do see that corporates are more and more eager to engage,
yeah.
and this is definitely helping creating a more resilient and more sustainable entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Can this ecosystem here become an R&D function for these big companies, because they can't experiment that much in there, but they can dabble in this sandbox, and that becomes your internal VC structure with all of the big corporations. Is that something that we could do and use this platform to promote it?
Oh, absolutely. I think this, as we said before, this is the go-to platform to get the first feel of a product or a service being pitched by by an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I think this is definitely the route to go for the corporates. They will engage. They will go to this platform and find the innovative solutions to the challenges that they are facing today.
Last couple of points. Good segue into the fact that you do a lot of other activities. You have the DTEC Forum, you have your annual event, you have a lot of hackathons and so on. One of the ideas we have is to start merging and cross-fertilizing these. Do you think that'll create a new energy to actually go out there and take the amazing content that you're producing to put it out there? Is that one of your objectives?
Yes, as a matter of fact it is. So we currently have a 6-pillar strategy. The pillars that you just mentioned, Dtec Ventures, the acceleration, and so on and so forth. I think StartupX will be a 7th pillar. I strongly think that this is a missing element today. It's a white spot, and we need to fill it. People are not just going to co-working spaces because they're cool anymore. Yeah. There are more and more of these spaces opening up. You need to bring more value to the entrepreneur.
Hans, thank you very much indeed. What we're going to do now is just play a little video that we produced as a startup for you.
Dtec's StartupX is a multimedia channel and content platform. It is an ecosystem for startups, investors, and corporates. It is time for transformative leaders, the 10x thinkers, the game changers, and the mad ones who will define the future. They are the ones who make a difference. They are the inspiration. StartupX channel and platform are the emerging markets leader in entrepreneurship and provides the ecosystem that every startup needs. StartupX is creating amazing multimedia content for entrepreneurs, startups, and even established businesses who want to disrupt, transform, and bring about real change. The heart of DTEC is the workshop, which is a one-stop shop. We accelerate innovators and support ambitious early-stage startups. We invest in early-stage technology businesses with a nucleus in Dubai. These companies are also disrupting and enabling traditional industries. DTEC helps entrepreneurs in company building and operations. It is also a platform for corporates to engage with tech startups in a win-win outcome. We host conference days, training workshops, and lots of networking. StartupX also shares personal journeys and human stories that make a difference. StartupX reaches tens of millions of people directly and through its partners on various digital platforms. It creates content from events, interviews, pitching competitions, and partner initiatives. A growing team of experts and influencers that are helping to build depth, context, and diversity. From the emerging world to the whole world.
So that's what we are, from the emerging world to the whole world. Hans, thank you for sharing this vision and giving us the opportunity to use your wonderful environment, and look forward to doing wonderful things.
Thank you.
You.